Hola, buenas señoras y señores, aquí con un video acerca del juego Hero Story que ya pronto va a salir de Game Pass. Había estado intentando pasarlo un poquito, así que dije, bueno, vamos a grabarlo para pasarlo. A ver si me permite iniciar de nuevo. El juego inicia así, tal cual, ¿ah? Lo poquito que se ha visto, eso es. Ahora, aparentemente había un delito de homicidio. Y está este sistema donde yo puedo ver grabaciones de diversas declaraciones. Por ejemplo, el término murder. Y cuando uno busque ese término, te aparecen estos 4 videos. Esos son los únicos que he visto. Vamos a reiterar nuevamente la visualización de los mismos. A ver, veamos. Primer video, 11 segundos.
You think it's murder? Clearly it's murder. What can I do to help?
Básicamente me doy cuenta que acá hay que estar muy atento con las palabras clave, ¿no? Creo que va a tener una hoja aparte acá. ¿Sí? Un lapicerito, una hoja y ya está. A ver, ¿dónde está? Segundo video. He visto la palabra help, ayuda. Y indica que claramente ha habido un delito ahí, ¿no? Veamos. Play.
Yeah, that's me. But February was months ago.
February.
Is that to do with someone's murder?
A ver, help, February. Help y February. Aparentemente algo ha pasado en febrero. Tercer video. Play.
I didn't murder Simon. You've got it
Simon.
wrong. You've got the wrong person.
Simon y Ron, que ya indica que no mató a Simon, ¿no? Que están teniendo a la persona equivocada. Siguiente, 21 segundos.
I'd like to speak to the lawyer.
Lawyer.
You have no murder weapon. You have nothing.
Weapon.
And all these stories we've been telling each other. Just that. Stories.
Ya. De estas declaraciones que indica que quiere un abogado, que no está creyendo nada, que solo son historias, no hay nada como vincularla, habría que revisar. Por ejemplo, una palabra clave que me parece aquí, al menos a mí, sería Simon. Veamos aquí Simon, entonces. ¿Qué aparece? Mire, varios videos acá, 61 entradas con Simon. Pero apenas me dejan ver las primeros 5. Veamos entonces, a ver, la primera 19 segundos con Simon.
Simon Smith. He works at Pence Brothers Glass. They do windows, all kinds of glass. Sam does the more special work. Mirror making, feature windows, artistic things. Really beautiful things.
¿Qué cosa? ¿Qué tipo de cosas hace?
Sam Smith. He works at Pence Brothers Glass. They do windows, all kinds of glass. Sam does the more special work. Mirror making, feature windows, artistic things. Really beautiful things.
Ya. Lo que no sé por qué ya no me sale los subtítulos ahí, cuando lo vuelvo a visualizar. Segundo video. Dura 27 segundos.
Sam is 6 foot, darkish blonde hair, average build. He's clean shaven. And his beard goes ginger, so he shaves it.
Ginger.
Not that there's anything wrong with ginger hair.
Ginger hair.
Photo. This is a short photo.
Foto.
This was taken last year on holiday in Rome. It's best friend.
Ya. Ahora la cosa es acerca de su característica física de Simon, ¿no? Tercer video, 16 segundos.
It's the Rockington Arms. The Rock.
The Rock.
It's run by a nice couple, Peter and Susan. There's some other regulars there that Sam likes to drink with. And the barman for having sometimes. He just said Simon had been in and had a few drinks.
Menciona más cuestiones, ¿no? Barmaid, Helen, Susan. Sí. Veamos que viene acá. 17 segundos.
Yes, there's an abstract one. No one uses it very much. There's a printer so you can write letters on it. Simon sometimes plays games. And save the princess.
Princess.
Simon isn't the type to run off or do anything crazy. Someone must have done something to him, or there must have been some kind of accident. So what do we do next?
Ya, y aparentemente este Simon es una persona centrada, aparentemente, según lo que se ve aquí. Hay más resultados para Simon también, ¿no? Pero me han dejado limitado apenas el acceso a los 5 primeros. Ya. Y solo sacando de una palabra clave, ¿no? Que hay más. Si me pongo a revisar aquí, entonces voy a ver foto. A ver qué resultados me salen con foto. La primera ya la he visto. Vamos a ver la segunda. 37 segundos, maldita sea.
No, he doesn't have tattoos.
Tattoos.
There's a scar down here near the stomach. Past his hip. Cut himself with
Scar.
glass. It looks just like the photo. He's not got his glasses on him though. He takes them off with the camera. But he needs them to see properly. He needs to read a newspaper or a menu in a restaurant. Not book so much for watching TV.
Ya. En este video aparentemente ha sido un día diferente, ¿no?
Yeah, we were 17.
17.
It was a nice wedding, people said. Simon looked very handsome in the photos. His parents paid for everything, but he's an only child, so it was important to them. It was what they called a shotgun wedding, but if you looked at the photos, you couldn't tell. The dress was beautiful. It looked like Princess Diana's. The training wasn't quite as long though. There's a great photo of the bridesmaid helping to carry it out of the car.
Ya. A ver. Me interesa ver Help. 11 entradas para Help. Veamos a ver. 42 segundos.
So, it was Friday evening. We had an argument. He left. On Saturday, he didn't come back. I waited all day. He was supposed to go help Eric out with something on Saturday afternoon.
Eric.
He didn't show. So Eric was ringing on the phone. I checked at the rock. That's all I thought.
Ya, ese de rock tengo que buscar,
I'd
¿ah?
seen him on the Friday night, but not since. Still wasn't back this morning. Isn't back at all. Still not back by dinner time. It's getting dark again. So I decided to go and see you.
Ahí tengo dos nuevas palabras para buscar ya. Eric y The Rock. Pero hay que acabar de ver acá estas aquí primero. A ver, esta de acá. 10 segundos.
Sure? Yes, of course, that would help. Will you phone the house to let me know when you want to come round? And I can make sure that I'm there.
¿Para quién?
Sure? Yes, of course, that would help. Will you phone the house to let me know when you want to come round? And I can make sure that I'm there.
Siguiente.
No, he doesn't need a diary.
Diary.
That's my thing. I've kept one, well, as long as I can remember, since I was a girl. Helps make sense of my day. I'm being forced to put something into words. This gives you perspective. Everyone's on the same page.
No sé ustedes, por a poco siento algo con esta chica. Sí, algo oculta. O algo sabe más que todavía no lo indica. O quizás todavía no ha llegado a esos videos, ¿no? Veamos.
Diane is really nice. She helps out with the glaziers, organises the Christmas party, that sort of thing. They have 2 kids, really sweet kids.
Diane.
She used to look out for me when I worked there.
Yeah, Diane Kids The Rock. Eric, hay tantas palabras aquí para buscar. Veamos.
When you've been married for 10 years, stuff accumulates. You could argue about anything. And he's so nice. That doesn't help. He tries to smooth things over, and that just makes it worse. We're both passive aggressive, so never really argue directly about anything.
Aggressive. A ver. Esta que me hacen pensar acá más que de lo que tenía el año pasado en Cecilia, ¿no? A ver. Eric. Vamos a buscar las reglas de Eric. Ya que mencionaron ese nombre. Acá hay unos videos. Vamos a ver este. 27 segundos.
He was wearing a shirt, a blue turtleneck shirt, and jeans. He has a watch. It's a really nice one. It's a gift from his boss, Eric.
Yeah. Boss.
He had his coat, a long grey duffel coat, black pants and hair. He would have taken that with him. It's not his house. Yes, there's a car that we share, a Cavalier, and a van uses for work. It's owned by Eric, but we look after it. Both of them are there now apart in the street. I'm not sure about the case for the van. I can look you over that.
Ya, siguiente. No todos los videos siento que me dan información realmente relevante, pero hay que estar atento cuando sí salga la información relevante.
Yes, that would be in his wallet. It's a Visa, a silver one. He doesn't like to spend money he doesn't have, so he usually pays with cash. But I convinced him to get one. Eric was like an uncle to him. They were pretty close. They spend a lot of time with each other, especially when they have to go to conferences. Have you met his wife, Diane?
Conferences. Ya me han soltado ese nombre Diane, tengo que buscarlo de todas maneras. Conferencia. Diane. Este corresponde a un día distinto, ya que está con guitarra. Veamos primero este 27 segundos. Este es de otro día. Este es del 27 del 6.
Yeah, that's Simon's watch. It was a gift from Eric. He got it this year. It was a wedding anniversary. Steel.
Steel.
It would have been Diane who chose it. She has really nice taste. That time. You must have eliminated me. I was in Glasgow then.
Glasgow. Bueno, la expresión de la chica. A ver, este también 30 del 6.
No really. He would go to the pub. He had his drinking buddies there, but no one ever really came back to the house. Sometimes Eric, his boss, and his wife would come in for dinner. That would be us returning a favour. Diane is a really good cook, into her trendy ingredients. And the last time Simon cooked something off MasterChef, he got the recipe of sea flax, and I did my Lloyd Grossman bit, commenting from the sidelines. I had to find fennel from the supermarket. Are you ever eating fennel?
Fennel. Ya. Fennel. No, se fue un logro. A ver, la guitarrita. Me doy cuenta que en la de 36 está medio alterada la chica.
Simon and Eric arguing? No. can't imagine anything happening. We get on so well. Unless it was something to do with work. Maybe Simon was being too much of a perfectionist. But, I don't know. You should ask Diane.
Ya, los nombres me salen Diane de todas maneras, pero primero quiero ver The Rock. Aparte, se llevaba bien Simon con Eric. Primero quiero ver The Rock. Hay 2 videos nuevos, 16 segundos, y después busco Diane.
Oh God, I don't know. I guess The Rock. We've spoken to everyone there. Someone must have seen where he went. I don't know. So many things could have gone wrong.
Yeah.
No one has been in the last few weeks. We had a plumber come in 3-4 weeks ago. Someone signed me from The Rock.
Ya, Diane definitivamente tengo que ver ahora. Ya, ninguno nuevo. Ahora ay. Foto han mencionado mucho casi un ya, foto ya no hay más. Food, comida mencionar en algunos puntos. Hay 3 videos nuevos con comida. Veamos.
Not drugs.
Drugs.
Drinks, but not very much. We go to the pub, it has 1 or 2. Sometimes we go together. He drinks wine with food, but he doesn't have anything.
Ya, no tiene problemas con la bebida. Ok, siguiente.
At the time they said it was poison.
Poison.
Food poisoning.
Food.
And I felt so guilty. If I'd still been at home, maybe I could have done something. I didn't.
Poison, veneno.
They said it was food poisoning. There was something in the food they ate. My dad liked to pick mushrooms, grow them too.
Mushrooms.
They said it was mushrooms. It was hard to believe. Death caps. They had a skirt around the cap. And my dad taught me that. But the police had no reason to think it was suspicious. They lived alone. And no one had any reason to hurt them.
Reason, esa palabra es clave. Una razón, no un motivo. ¿Qué podría haber pasado? Ajá. Este es 3 del 7.
Mum and Dad never had any reason to notice. They were always busy. If Hannah was eating a lot, they didn't mind. She didn't learn any weight. That girl has a healthy appetite. If they heard us talking in the attic, they just thought it was Hannah playing on her games. And that he was our imaginary friend. Once, she was already up and dressed and ready to go to school, and I snuck down to his. Mum saw me in my underwear, she went mad. Get dressed this instant! So I ducked into our bedroom, and seconds later, out came Hannah, dressed and ready. I was amazed.
Eve. Dame la música. Mira, Eve. Tengo 5 videos. A ver, vamos con Eve. Primero.
Yeah. My friend Eve.
Su amiga Eve.
Well, she was a friend when I was a kid. And she was always more popular with the boys, and I used to hate her for it.
Lo odiaba Eve.
Really hate her sometimes.
Me la conoce de tiempo.
Yes. We'd fight. We fought on the beach once, and I held Eve's head underwater. There was no one else around. We went by the beach, and I held her head under, and I kept it. And for a moment, I just wanted to kill her.
Kill her.
And watch her drown.
Drown.
But that was it. It was just a moment. We made up after him. It was a love-hate relationship.
Relationship. Ya, esto de if está tomando importancia también, ¿no?
A police station. Yeah. When I was young, we ran away on my birthday. Bob Dylan was playing in London and we thought we could break into his tour bus and have him take us with him. The taxi driver we paid to drop us off and we'd save money, hitch to get here and there to get it there. He was suspicious because we were so young, so he told the police. So they came and picked us up and took me back to Portsmouth. My mum picked me up in the station. But I'm getting ready with my friend Eve. My parents let me off.
A ver, 48 segundos, sí. Hannah.
I'm doing talking about you.
Okay. Ya, ese estuvo un poco creepy y me llamó la atención eso que hizo el... A ver, quiero verlo de nuevo para apuntar un toque esto de...
I'm doing talking about you.
¿Por qué hablas de GIF? 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 2, 1. Esa es una especie de... Toque. Se puede toser. Esto quiere ver. A ver. Ojo. Toque. A ver. 3, 1. Ya. Tanto, este es del 3 del 7 y este. Ya, este después, ok. 6 segundos.
My mother called me Eve.
Su mamá le llamó Eve.
My mother called me Eve.
Se cambió acá la pantalla. Pero bueno. Porque se cambió la pantalla no tengo la menor idea. Pero bueno. No, quiero salir de acá. A ver, siento que estoy entrando en un terreno un poco denso. Veamos acá, porque tengo bastantes palabras nuevas. A ver, veamos una. Married. Acá tengo, ¿ves? Ya había salido Married acá en este video. Veamos aquí. Este es 18 del 6.
Stupid argument, nothing specific. No one knows how to push a button, especially for those who used to.
Habían problemas de pareja.
A long time. We got married when I was 17.
17.
Tell them, sweetheart. Everything right. Would you mind, detective?
Vale, ya sacaron papitas acá. Tiene una actitud media rara. Muy cambiante por momentos, ¿no? Me gustaría ver Hannah. Aquí está Hannah 1, 18 entradas. Vamos a ver la primera.
My name is Hannah.
Ah, ella, Hannah.
H-A-N-N-A-H. It's palindrome.
Palindrome.
It reads the same backwards as forwards. It doesn't work from here, though. It's not quite symmetrical, but well, you'll get it. Sorry. Hannah Smith, I live at 31 Gladstone Street.
Hannah Smith. Esta es la del código Morse, ¿no?
Yes. My name is Hannah Smith. Oh, shit. Sorry.
Espera. Está con un detector de mentiras acá.
Yes. My name is Hannah Smith. Oh, shit. Sorry.
Pero, si ella se llama Hannah Smith, ¿por qué acá le sale como si no estuviera diciendo la verdad? Ya no puedo ver ese. A ver.
Yes. My name is Hannah Smith. Oh, shit. Sorry.
Entonces ahí el 3 del 7, que tiene doble personalidad, ¿esto o qué onda? A ver. 39 segundos, 3 del 7.
Across the road, where my parents first lived there, was a midwife called Florence. When Hannah was born, I was born at the same time.
Entonces no es la
The
misma.
midwife was there to help.
O es su gemela esta.
Throttled by the cord, probably wrapped around my neck by Hannah. The midwife told my mother I was dead,
Dead.
but I wasn't. She wrote all this stuff in a diary. Amazing what people will admit to on paper.
Oye, ¿qué fue eso? Bueno, no me quieran bloquear, ¿ah? Que uno está tranquilo acá, no me quiero meter un jump scare así, ¿ah? Yo estoy tranquilo aquí, ¿ah? No me quieran asustar así.
She recognized me from the window. She told me to come inside, and she hid me. They had made the attic into a place where Hannah could play. It was a dollhouse. She hid me up there. No one else ever went into the attic. It was her place.
No me quieran asustar, ¿ah? Algo está pasando acá raro. Ay. Siguiente palabra clave. Dentro de pocotón de palabras clave que tengo acá, pero siento que me estoy haciendo una idea de qué va pasando. Una mujer o hay dos. O gemelas o doble personalidad, pero lo que más me ha querido bloquear es esto. Que salió una cara de la nada acá, ¿no? Mira, estaba revisando algo. Acá hay video, ¿ves?
I think he spoke to Helen. She said he was upset about her argument, but I'm not sure what else he said. He likes Helen. He likes girls. No. I mean, yes, we have arguments, but he never runs off. He always comes back. We make up. It's always that way.
A ver, siguiente. 7 segundos.
Yes. He left after the argument. It was about 8 o'clock.
Ujú. A ver. Rom, vamos a buscar. Acá hay 3.
It was after dinner. I'd spoken to Sam's parents on the phone. I looked up for an early night and I suddenly had this thought. I think it was something his mum had said. She'd been speaking about old stuff. Sad stuff. About when we lived there. About the baby. There's some boxes in the cellar, nursery stuff we never needed and I never had the heart to throw out. And I suddenly remembered that when I looked down there the week before, those boxes, that pile was in the wrong place. I went cold all over. I went down there with a torch and went straight to the back and that's when I saw the bin bags. Pulled them open, saw the body. I screamed and that's when I called the police.
Está medio raro esto. Ay. Me quería asustar esta macana, pero bueno, ya. Veamos a ver qué. Food. No. Love. Veamos, amor, pues ha mencionado mucho esto, ¿no? A ver.
Thanks. Please find Simon. I love him so much.
Acá todavía no sabías que había fallecido Simon. Ese es el 18 del 6. Después ya se entera del desenlace de Simon, ¿no?
No. I mean, everyone loves Simon. He was so nice to everyone. He loves me.
Ay. A ver, ¿qué otra palabra podría buscar acá? Pues ahora. A ver, aggressive. Husband también podría ser, ¿no? Pero vamos a ver, husband. Ajá, ahí está.
I haven't been into work. I guess I've just been waiting to hear from you, hear from my husband.
Yeah. Estaba queriendo saber de su esposo. 3 segundos esta.
When you suspect someone of murdering their husband. When you suspect someone of murdering their husband.
Cuando sospechas de alguien que ha asesinado a su marido. Ajá, 23 segundos.
She's crying, I guess. She's sad because she thought she saw her husband with another woman. But it's okay because she finds out it wasn't her husband, it was his brother. And so it's fine.
Brother, podría buscar también, ¿no?
I thought it made me sound suspicious.
Brother.
It's not a normal thing to do to drive to the other end of the country. I wanted to keep it simple. I knew it was stupid not to tell you everything. Saying I spent the night in Glasgow and I thought it would, distract you from what was important. It's different now. Now he's...
Glasgow también, a ver.
It was supposed to be a secret.
Secret.
Just because Simon is dead doesn't mean I have to give up all of his secrets. It doesn't have anything to do with what happened to Simon. No one murdered my husband because he cheated his expenses for a romantic weekend in Oxford.
Oxford, wow. A ver, hay unos temas acá. Glasgow, Oxford y para la fecha del 1 del 7 ya se había confirmado el fallecimiento, ¿no? Glasgow. ¿Así se escribe? ¿Cómo se escribe Glasgow? Ajá, ¿ves? Había Glasgow. A ver.
I got in the car and I drove. I just kept driving north. Just kept going, just wanted to get as far away as I could. When I finally stopped, I was all the way up in Glasgow. I was so tired. Just had to sleep. Yes. I got to Glasgow, I was exhausted, so I pulled over and slept in the car. I woke up because a rubbish truck went past. I got some petrol, bought a copy of history, tried calling someone from a payphone, and then headed back.
Ya. Algo estaba funcionando mal ahí, ¿no?
No, I don't think so. Glasgow was deserted that early in the morning.
¿Cómo dijo?
No, I don't think so. Glasgow was deserted that early in the morning.
Ya.
When I arrived in Glasgow, I was exhausted. The streets were empty. I was driving badly. And I hit a taxi. Not a big crash, just paintwork. The guy was so pissed off because I didn't have a driving license on me. But when I told him I was pregnant, he made sure I got to the hospital so they could check me out. It was fine. The hospital must have details when I was looked at. There's a scratch on the car.
A ver. Antes de eso, quiero ver del tatú. ¿Tiene tatuajes ella? A ver si habla algo de los tatuajes.
My tattoo. I got it to express my individuality.
Individuality.
It's an apple and a snake.
Manzana y culebra. Ok. Y mira, expressing my individuality. It's a snake and an apple. Ok.
So I moved out. Got a small bed sit.
El 3 del 7 podría no ser ella en sí.
I was singing in a bar in the evenings, so I had some money, enough money to cover my rent. And I've been doing something similar ever since. I haven't put down any roots. I don't exist.
¿No toque?
So I moved out. Got a small tattoo to mark the occasion. I was singing in a bar in the evenings, so I had some money, enough money to cover my rent. And I've been doing something similar ever since. I haven't put down any roots. I don't exist.
¿Cómo que ya no existe? ¿Cómo que ya no existe?
He saw me singing one of my shows. Pure chance. Not sure I remember what he was even doing there. Afterwards, I had a drink at the bar and he came over and we got talking. I knew who he was. Obviously I knew who he was. But he didn't know who I was. He was fascinated by the likeness. He guessed my name from my tattoo. Told me it was a palindrome, but that would impress me. I enjoyed talking to him. It was amazing to be able to sit and interact and talk to him after all this time. He didn't tell me he was married.
Pero
Not sure what he
acá,
was thinking.
Aparentemente ella, como si no fuese la misma. Dream. Dream. A ver, la primera. 35 segundos.
When beautiful people died, we always felt like it was a sign. You remember Princess Grace? Grace Kelly? She died in a car crash the year before we met Simon. We used a Ouija board to speak to her, and that gave us the power to find him. That's what we thought then. That people who died tragically leave some kind of magic behind. We used to share dreams. We used to wake up and write them down in our diaries immediately and compare them.
Diaries, hay muchos, pero... Ay. A ver. Hay una palabra que tengo hace rato, la de Oxford, antes que se me vaya. A ver, 5 segundos.
There was a conference, something to do with double glazing.
Glazing.
In Oxford?
Glazing? A ver.
Are you sure? What would he be doing in Oxford if there was no conference? I remember calling him. Said it was boring and he spent most of the time at the bar.
A ver, bar también podría ser una palabra, pero... Glacier. A ver. Acá tengo unas palabras también, ¿no? Unos cuantos videitos hay, ¿ah?
Mobile phone?
Mobile phone.
Yeah. Well,
94.
the glaciers, but it's only for work.
Glaciers, claro, ahí estaba.
Can't remember the number. It's in the kitchen. I saw it plugged into its charging cradle.
Yeah.
I did? Well, we met when we were 17.
17, también tengo que buscar, ¿ah? Aparentemente murió envenenado por la otra personalidad. Hasta ahorita me es indicio, ¿no?
Simon dropped out of school, went full-time with Glazers. That was Eric's generosity. We moved in with his mum and dad. They had a spare room for us and the baby.
Pregnant baby, también tengo que buscar.
It was a nice change, time to myself, living there for those months, full of hope. No, everyone loved Simon. He's a glazier who doesn't have much money. I mean, I don't know.
Ay, vamos a buscar el pregnant. Ah.
I got pregnant.
Estaba embarazada, ¿ok?
Both our parents had a big powwow. We weren't even in the room. And they decided we should get married.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm fine. I won't sing again. This happens some days. I'm pregnant. It's morning sickness.
Está embarazada y entonces.
No. Well, yes. He found out on my birthday. I told him I was pregnant.
Yeah.
It's Rapunzel. The story starts when she's born. Mother Gothel, a witch, takes Rapunzel from her parents and keeps her locked up in this tower. Rapunzel gets pregnant by the prince. Mother Gothel is furious, so she cuts off her hair and throws it. Actually, her hair's already short here, so that's already happened. So she throws her into the wilderness, and Rapunzel is reunited with the prince, who's blind. But she puts him in tears, so it's a happy ending. Is that too much?
Ya. Es happy ending, la historia de Rapunzel, ¿no? Pero... Ay, ay, ay. ¿Cuál podría haber acá? A ver. Dentro de las palabras claves que tengo, a ver. 7.
Could I have a cup of tea?
Y aquí de té.
A cup of tea would be good, thanks. Just 1 sugar.
Sugar. Solo quiero uno de azúcar.
Okay.
Está temblando ahí.
I parked up on the street. It was busy, so I had to park down the end of the road. Walked up, knocked on the door, no answer. I took my keys out of my bag and unlocked the door. The main lock was unlocked. You could tell because the key doesn't turn when you try to turn it to the left. I walked in. Sam's coat wasn't on the peg. I couldn't see his shoes in the shoe rack. I shouted out. I walked straight into the kitchen because he usually sits in there to have a cup of tea and read his paper, but he wasn't there. I touched the kettle, it was cold. I looked quickly in the living room, nothing. So I walked upstairs to the bedroom and he wasn't there. I didn't search for him because it was pretty clear he wasn't there. I had a shower, the phone rang whilst I was in the shower. I didn't answer it, I think it was Eric. Then I was just exhausted. So I lay down on the bed and I fell asleep, though I didn't mean to. I woke up a couple of hours later and I was surprised to see no one in the bed next to me. And then I remembered where I was and what had happened. That's when Eric called again. This time I spoke to him. Then I called back again and then I decided to come and see you. Don't know. Maybe a fresh cup of tea?
Una tacita de té.
Okay. I parked up on the street. It was busy, so I parked down the end of the road. I walked up to the house, I knocked on the door, no answer. I took my keys out of my bag, unlocked the door. The main lock was unlocked. I could tell because the key was down and I tried to turn it to the left. I walked in. Simon's coat wasn't on a peg. I couldn't see his shoes in the shoe rack. I shouted out for him. I walked straight into the kitchen. He usually sits in there to have a cup of tea and read his paper. He wasn't there. I touched the kettle. It was cold. I looked quickly into the living room. Nothing. I walked upstairs to the bedroom. He wasn't there. I didn't search for him because it was pretty clear he wasn't there. And then I had a shower. Whilst I was in the shower, the phone rang. I think it was Eric, his boss. I didn't answer it. Then I came out and I was just exhausted. So I lay down on the bed and I fell asleep, but I didn't mean to. I woke up a couple of hours later and I was surprised to see no one in the bed next to me. And then I remembered where I was and what had happened. That's when Eric called again. I spoke to him. Then I called Simon's parents.
Parents.
And then I decided to come and see you. Don't know.
Ay, ay, ay. Peter, a ver, veamos. Te voy a cerrar esa palabra. No, no tiene más. Linger. Ya busqué, no hay nada con Linger. Death. Hay una nueva con Death. Del 3 del 7. Uy, uy, uy.
I was living in the attic. It was a very hard time. I was depressed. I was still pretty sick of the STD. When I came down one morning, they were dead. They were in bed and both had been sick and thrown up, not. And I slept through it. The police said it was the mushrooms they had.
Mushrooms.
Dad was a mushroom expert. He used to take us picking with him and he taught us how to recognize them.
Hongos.
There's no way you would pick dead cows. But please believe that's what happened. They never even looked in the attic.
Ya, Attic y biólogos también. Pucha máquina, ¿quién es esa persona que me salió acá? O el mismo Simon. Maldita sea, no me pongan esa cara de la nada. A ver. Y acá me han puesto algo de pistas, ¿no? Mushrooms.
I think it's wrong. The bags, I think they were from our kitchen. I could probably check that. Don't go into the cellar. It's just a place we put things we don't need. Dad used to buy mushrooms there. The bags were taped up. I think it was plastic tape. I think it was ours.
Attic. Ok, bueno, ¿sabes? Buena palabra le he dado.
Yes. I inherited it from my parents, so it made sense to move back, me and Simon. Felt like going back to old days before the pregnancy. Reminded me of being a girl, the dollhouse in the attic, old things. We didn't sleep in my parents' bedroom for a long time. We decorated it as soon as we moved in, but it was another year before we started to sleep in there. Yes, I read a lot as a child and watched lots of TV. Then the doll's house we had, we still have in the attic. It's kind of a fairy castle. We used to play up there and make up our own stories. Could the hairs have come from somewhere else? I mean, could they... We have a lot of dolls in the attic. There's a Rapunzel doll with long blonde hair. Could they have come from there? I'm not sure where the dollhouse came from. I don't know if it was given to them or they inherited it. They wouldn't have had the money to buy it. It was so huge. It must have been taken up to the attic in parts and then reassembled up there. It's a beautiful thing. Wallpaper to scale, little furniture, the lights work, mirrors, beds, duvets and pillows. We spent hours and hours playing in it, invented all these characters and families who lived there. We wrote paperwork for them all, passports, diaries, and gave them all really elaborate stories. Once, a moth got trapped in there. We'd left a light on. It was making the most horrendous noise. We tried to kill it, but it was tough. We ended up crushing it under a copy of the Arabian Nights. We spent the wedding night in a hotel in Brighton. It would have been too much to do more. We were saving for the baby. It was wonderful to be in a hotel, away from home, just alone together. Since then, we've always tried to go away for our holiday. I wasn't in the house all of Friday night. After the argument, after Simon left, I left too. I was upset and I wanted to get away. So I took the car.
Argument.
I didn't. I slept in the car. I left about 9 that night. I wasn't there.
Pero ¿cómo dice que no estuvo ahí? Alumen, sí, sí, buscado, ¿no? Bueno, sí, alumen lo he buscado, pero... A ver, sugar, ¿sí? Sugar.
Black coffee, thanks. No sugar. Sweet enough as it is.
Pero en otra sí quería azúcar, ¿no? Me di cuenta, para el té. Solo una copita de azúcar. Y ahora no quiere.
Just the one sugar, please.
Total, ¿quiere o no quiere azúcar?
Is that camera recording?
¿Ves? Acá dice que no quiere.
Black coffee, thanks. No sugar. Sweet enough as it is.
Bueno, total, ¿le gusta o no le gusta?
Black no sugar. Thanks.
Entiendo.
Coffee, I guess. Milk and sugar.
Temita con el azúcar también tiene. Bueno. Ay, ay, ay. A ver. Ya, Herb, ya no hay. Ya, no, ustedes están ya. ¿Qué es eso? Ah, mira, está toda mi historia de búsqueda, qué chévere. Qué bueno, qué bueno, qué bueno. Está toda mi historia de ahí. Bueno, puedo ver todo. Ah, ese para que no salga de la cara de la nada. Ya no va a salir ninguna cara entonces. Ya está, por fin, ya no me sale la cara esa. ¡Ay! ¡Qué miedoso! ¿Por qué no quieres que salga la cara? Como una pista la cara, que me estoy acercando a algo, ¿no? Pero bueno. Sigamos, a ver, birthday. Me salió en algún momento. Hay que tomar. Acá. Ajá.
Yes, that's my birthday. Not one of the big ones, but I guess you can see that.
¿Cuándo?
Yes, that's my birthday. Not one of the big ones, but I guess you can see that.
Ya.
It was my birthday, like you said. We were going to have a meal at home. We had our meal. He gave me his present. I guess I didn't like the present.
Pero porque se pregunta si no le gustó, pero debería tenerlo en claro, ¿no?
From when I woke up. Okay. I woke up. Simon was already up, and he made me birthday breakfast of eggs Benedict. We both had to go to work, so we saved presents till later. I got to work, had some birthday cake. Children sang me happy birthday. Then I came home. The birthday meal was a takeaway, and Simon gave me his present, which I didn't mind. And after that, we talked about the baby.
Baby, que buscará.
Big argument. Simon left. I was furious. I wanted to get as far away as I could and get some space to think. So I left.
Se ve enojada ahí. Baby, que buscará.
A week or so ago. It would have been Saturday before my birthday. You know, I get up out on the weekends, have a lie-in, then want to go and blitz the house.
Cae dos con baby.
No. I lost the baby.
Cuando ya está embarazada ya.
I had a miscarriage at 8 months. We carried on living at Sam's parents until, that was only a few months after. Yes. It was a shock to him. We never thought it was possible. I don't know what I hadn't decided whether to keep the baby. I wasn't really ready to talk to him about it.
Ay. ¿Qué palabras tengo acá? ¿Caballero? ¿De las Andes? No, apenas era una salida. Sí, a la tacha. Watch. Acá hay 2 videos nuevos.
I guess you could call it that, but we were both happy to get married. It was a beautiful wedding. We had our first dance to come back and stay. I'm not sure if that's a good wedding song, but I loved it. I chose it. It was genuinely our first dance. We'd never danced together before. It was probably awful to watch, but I enjoyed it. It felt like it was just me and Simon for that moment. Just the two of us. It happened very quickly. We hardly had to talk to each other. We agreed almost silently. The baby was what mattered. We'd help each other. We cleaned up. We bagged up the broken mirror, her clothes. They're gone. We took him down to the cellar. We knew we had an alibi, and we wanted the body to be found later. We wanted to have suspicion on us, so we could then disprove it, rather than have it linger. Better to keep the body in the house than risk being seen with it. The watch, that was my touch, to make sure the alibi stuck.
¿Qué pasó acá? Policía sonó, ¿no? ¿Qué pasó? DB checker. ¿Qué es eso? ¿Por qué sonó la policía? Pero acá está sonando como si estuviera confesando. Mira, hablando del cuerpo y todo. A ver acá.
The bruise. I have a really fast metabolism, so stuff like that just comes and goes. I don't know if there's much more that I can tell you that I haven't already told the other policeman. I found the body. His body didn't reveal. His throat. It looked like his throat had been cut. And in his glasses, these thick glasses. It doesn't always matter.
La guitarra. Te también tengo que buscar.
Really? What's the rest?
Made a body of a doctor, for the wind and the rain, till a fiddler with a fiddle came walking by, on a dreadful wind and rain. And he made a fiddle bow of mud on him, for the wind and the rain. Yes, he made a fiddle bow of a long blonde hair, on a dreadful wind and rain. And the big paper legs of her fingers, oh, on a dreadful wind and rain. Have you made a fiddle out of her breastbone? All the wind and rain, the sound could pierce a heart of stone. On a dreadful wind and rain. But the only tune that the fiddle could play all the wind and the rain. Yes, the only tune that the fiddle could play. All the dreadful wind and rain.
Anything you say maybe used as evidence against you.
¿De qué iba la guitarra?
Can you imagine? I tried to get pregnant too, but it didn't happen.
Pero ¿por qué habla que ella también intentó quedar embarazada?
Boys, men. My body refused. I think my period stopped because hers had. I was pretty though. I mean, how could we stay the same now?
Estos del 3 del 7 son la onda.
Set us down separate paths. We had become different.
Ya, esta vez se pone oscuro, ¿eh? Se ponía medio oscuro. Con esta del 3 del 7 son la cosa. Ufa. Ya vamos a ver. En algún momento mencionado acerca de febrero. Mira, hay uno que le daba.
Well, I don't know. I probably had to pop out and get something, that's why I was speeding. And that wouldn't have been noted on my timesheet. But I really can't remember back to February.
Diane, me falta hace rato que te había salido ese nombre, ¿no? No, ya la busqué ya. Parents. O Eric Simon, vamos a buscarlo con todo. No, ya están ya. Lawyer. Ella pidió un abogado también. Solo he visto uno de esos videos.
Can I leave? Are you going to arrest me? No. They'd laugh you out of the building. A lawyer would make mincemeat of you.
Estaba enojada porque no se podía ir.
Yes, I understand my rights. No, I don't need a lawyer.
Pero total. ¿Necesita o no necesita?
Yes. No, Lord. What are you going to arrest me for?
Total, acá este.
I'd like to speak to a lawyer now. Please.
Total, ¿quiero o
You
no
have
quiero
no
abogado?
word weapon. You have nothing. And all these stories we've been telling each other. Just that. Stories.
Está extraño todo esto. A ver. Parents. No me mencionó mucho. Acá hay uno nuevo con Parents.
Then my parents died. It was the worst year of my life. Miscarriage and then my parents.
Claro, estaba al borde ya en... ¿Qué más he buscado acá? More the rock, Eric behind the rock, photo. A ver, ¿qué más? Hannah. Pero Hannah sí busqué, pero si pongo todo, ¿saldría algo? Ah, ahí está, mira, ahí sale Pucha, estos son varios, el 3 del 7, acaba de estar intenso esto.
Differences? She's a better driver than me. She passed the test for us. I tried to take it and nearly crashed the car. Learned that you can't rely on confidence to get you
Que
through.
no me queden claro si hay doble personalidad acá o
She is the shy one.
gemelas.
She was especially shy around boys. If Hannah liked a boy, I would have to pursue him. It was that way with Carl. Hannah met him first. She had such a crush. I let him take my virginity after a night that his band had played at. It got difficult. When I was with Carl, we would have sex, but Hannah couldn't let him see she was a virgin.
¿Cómo?
When I was with Carl, we would have sex, but Hannah couldn't let him see she was a virgin. She had lots of excuses. After a while, we decided that I should take Hannah's virginity. It's not that different to a bruise, pulling a tooth, a graze. We used a hairbrush.
Hairbrush.
After that, we took it in turns, though. I was always the one who seduced the boys. Until Simon.
¿Qué pasó ahí con Simon?
Hannah was so smitten with Simon. She started getting jealous, didn't want to share. Even the first date, we went to see Tom Cruise at the Old Odeon. We both went, kept changing places in the toilet. We only had one best dress, so we had to keep swapping clothes. Must have thought we had terrible bladder problems. The next date, it was my turn. At the end, I let him kiss me, but that was it. We didn't want another car in our hands, and the Ouija board had said to hold back. After that, it was Hannah's turn, and she slept with him. Broke the rules. Deliberately broke the rules. She wanted to be the first to sleep with him. I mean, that's when she got pregnant. From that one time.
¿Cómo se apaga? Se apaga. ¿Alguien se ha asomado ahí, ves?
No. The parents decided there would be a wedding. After the wedding, Hannah moved in with his parents. There was no way I could follow. So we were separated again.
No entiendo, ¿son gemelas o qué onda?
I stayed in the attic. It was hard. It's like I suddenly didn't exist. I would sneak out, but in case anyone recognized me, I started wearing a wig. Hannah and I would meet up in the park. I was trying to get pregnant. But I couldn't. I mean, I couldn't do it with anyone who knew, so it was sex with strangers. Drunk guys I met in clubs, in parks, and highways. I was 17. It felt like I was being punished. But it was Hannah who had betrayed us. I had to stop.
Confesiones.
When we met up, it was disturbing. For the first time, my reflection, she didn't look like me. She was fatter, flushed. If anything, I was getting skinnier. I had a hard to look sometimes. We talked about what to do. Was it time to become real people? And that seemed like the right thing to do, but neither of us wanted it. We agreed that her and Simon would get their own place as soon as possible, and then I could move in. And that was the plan.
Sería interesante la versión de Simon, pero bueno. Suena a la policía, porque eso tenía algo importante que ver.
Hannah had a miscarriage. This was late in the pregnancy, and it left her infertile. Felt said, corrected its course. We were aligned again. But Hannah and Simon were still living with his parents. They were married. Simon had a job at the Glaziers now. Derek had given him a full-time position after he left school. And then...
Y después... Uy, chit-chat, ¿qué es esto? Perdón, no del todo, ¿ah? O sea, tengo una idea, pero... Me gustaría decir que no, todavía no. Perdón, no. Ok, está bien. El chit-chat. Bueno, ya. Está bueno, a ver. Es que me ha dejado muchas evidencias, pero no sé si de doble personalidad o de gemelas. Pero si fueran gemelas... Bueno, o sea, ¿qué te voy a decir, no? ¿Qué quieres que te diga? Ahora, que también ha mencionado groserías en algún punto. Shit. Ok, no.
Was he my first? No need to be so coy. No, he wasn't my first. That would have been Carl. He was a local boy in a band. He was a bit of a shit.
Aquí está hablando Eve en sí.
But he was sexy. We were 15.
Ahí alguien se ha asomado.
No, I was 15. Carl was older, 17, I think. I was really into him, regardless of how he actually behaved. Lots of drunken teenage sex. We did it in a church once. Stupid. So he got tired of us and we split up after about 6 months. It was sad. Those early experiences, they help you realise who's really important to you, you know? Family.
Ese fue tranquilo. La cuestión fue las del 3 y del 7 son las cosas, ¿no? A ver, ¿Rapunzel saldrá de nuevo? ¿En realidad o no? Acá, qué buenas.
Sorry. The picture, the way it's drawn, just reminded me of the books we used to read as children. I read those fairy tales over and over, and they were so real to me. Rapunzel was my favourite. My brain is just full of it. Oh, and these in colour.
Mm-hmm.
Did I pass? Sorry, I messed it up with all that Rapunzel stuff. Do you need me to do that card again?
A ver acá, 57 segundos Rapunzel.
We were obsessed with fairy tales.
Ahora acá habla en plural,
Not just
¿ves?
the pretty ones, but the traditional ones. They were dark and real, bizarre and violent. Felt like life. We had this
Una habla en plural, la otra en
huge
singular.
book that I think Mum must have bought from a library sale. The illustrations had thin tracing paper over them to protect them. They were in colour, shiny paints. At the front of the book was an index of illustrations. We read that more than the actual stories. We'd read aloud the captions and flip between pictures. There was something intimate about peeling back the tracing paper and dressing the pictures. Rapunzel's hair is cut. The eagle plucks out his heart. The princess pricks her finger.
Un poco creepy, ¿no? estoy buscando. Ajá, ¿ves? Ya tenía una palabrita hace rato con kids.
I got a job to contribute to. Doug knew someone, and I got a job as a dinner lady at the primary school. They said it didn't matter if I cook or not, just don't poison the kids. So you see, it's always been complicated between me and Sam. It's never just been the two of us, there's always been pressure. Well, there you go. How many kids?
Ay. Mirror. Espejo. Que me faltaban esta vez.
It wasn't the present so much, it was one of those arguments that had been simmering for a while. The present was a mirror, a nice mirror. He'd engraved the glass, the kind of mirror a princess would have in a story. He made it specially for me. The mirror. I can't remember.
Ya no se acuerda del espejo, ¿eh?
I put it somewhere safe. Upstairs, I think.
El ático.
I haven't looked at it since. Silver leaf? No. He normally silvers them properly. This mirror, it's supposed to look antique. The reflection isn't as good.
Antique.
It's the perfect mirror for someone who doesn't like to look at their own reflection.
Un espejo para quien no quiere ver su reflejo. Vamos a buscar otra palabra que haya un rato. Sueño. Dream. Está dream. Dollhouse. La que ladra el perrito ya. Hay una nueva en Dollhouse.
The legal stuff was completed very quickly. Handed me back in, here's Simon. Eric gave Simon a week off to help with the move. He decorated, modernised wallpaper curtains. Henry insisted the attic be left as it was, dollhouse and all. Simon never went up there.
Ya. Ahora, a ver, ¿qué otra cuestión? Ah, en algún momento mencionaron wig, peluca, ¿no? Ajá. En algún momento también mencionaron la peluca.
A wig? You mean, well, what type of wig?
Ya.
No, I've never worn a wig.
Pero otra sí mencionó la peluca.
This other person doesn't exist. I don't know what the blonde wig is, but it could be anything. Have you looked at the cat flap?
Que niega la existencia de otra persona.
This was about 9. I went round and she was waiting for me. She was furious and so angry, the kind of anger you can only have towards yourself. We screamed at each other, argued, cried, we fought. I hit her back, left a bruise. I had my wig on from before and she tore it off. Eventually, we grew tired of fighting and I left.
Y si pongo, por ejemplo, a ver, hablando de nombres.
I would have been a good mother. I was young, but I would have been a good mother. She was a girl, by the way, the baby. We were going to call her Sarah.
O te puedo buscar Sarah también otro nombre, ¿ves?
Simon wanted to call her Ava after his nana,
Eva,
but I didn't want her to have a symmetrical name.
nombre simétrico, pero o sea con lo de if, Eva. A ver,
Okay, you got me. I'll confess. We were there.
A la Wii.
It was a dirty weekend. Simon was going to expense it, pretend it was a business trip. I used a made-up name. We stayed at the hotel, had room service, didn't leave the room, had a great view of the river, and you could hear the church bells. Like you said, it was very romantic.
Pero no ha confesado nada, solo que estuvo con Simon.
Renee, that was the impression I felt. Your lie detector works.
No, hombre. Dale, mentira. Acá hay con mentira, 4 segundos.
Yes, I'll take a lie detector test.
Yes. Ok, le vamos a buscar yes.
I've never taken a lie detector test before. Does it really work?
A ver, vamos a buscar yes. No me sale nada. ¿Y si pongo no? Tampoco. A ver, shit. Trampa. Mira, hay una buena, ¿eh? He chuntado. Hacer
Mum and
trampa.
Dad never knew what was going on. We got so good at it. We were so in sync that we'd use each other to cheat. If one
Trampa.
of us had a hangover, the other one would go to school. Whoever was
Pues,
best in the
Sarah
subject
Eva.
would sit the exam. There are lots of differences between us. Some things one is better than the other at.
Se quedó todo tranquilo en la música, ¿no? A ver, otra. Ah, también estaba Eva. Eva no hay nada. Sarah. Tampoco es la misma. La Sarah también salió la de la peluca blonde, rubia. Acá hay una.
You want me to play something? I'm not the world's best Italian. Okay? Something is truly How about a traditional one?
Barato. Aquí está, y también ese temita. Te voy a buscar algo con singing, con canto.
But he only cared for the youngest one, all the dreadful the eldest envied her sister fair. Oh, the wind and the rain, with her pretty little face and her long blonde hair. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. So she pushed her in and held her down. Oh, the wind and the rain watched her as she slowly drowned. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. Oh, she floated up
tradicional, ¿no? Ok. Ya está bien. Quiero ver si se queda grabando esta bacana. Ahora singing. Lo que está cantando, mira, hay una nueva.
Nothing else happened that night. We talked, then I said goodbye. Then next week I was singing the bar again, and there he was. And again the next week, he offered to buy me a meal. I told him I had already eaten, and so we got chips and ate on the beach instead.
Beach.
When we said goodbye, he asked me to kiss him. Romantic.
Romantic. Ay. Creo que estoy atando todos los cabos aquí, ¿ah? Mira, ¿ves? Acá había 3. Veamos, 12 segundos.
I think when I drove back it was about 8 or something. And I got back to the house about 3.
Ya, casa 3.
I think so. I mean, to get into our garden, we'd have to climb through other gardens. All the gardens back onto each other, so you'd have to climb over 1, 2, 3 gardens to get to ours. I mean, did anyone see anything? Did anyone see anyone come and go? An intruder?
Intruder, también. 56 segundos.
I think it was that time, the first time at the house, in his bed, that I got pregnant. Amazing, right? This fucking magic sperm. And they say like
Sería la misma persona entonces.
I didn't tell him. I was 3 periods. I had pretty irregular periods anyway, but 3. I had always thought we were infertile. Both of us. I didn't tell him. I just waited. Hannah and I were meeting for our birthday, and I told her because I thought she would be happy for us both. I think she was.
Se puso oscuro esto, ¿ah? Algo creepy. A ver, una más.
Like I said before, it was 3, something like that. I walked in, saw Simon. He was on the floor of the living room. His throat had been cut.
Cata también se podría buscar, ¿no?
There was a lot of blood. He was dead.
He visto 50% de los videos hasta el momento. A ver. Tantos hay. Tantas palabras tengo. Antique. No, ya vi esta de antique. Otra de las que tengo acá de palabras apuntadas. A ver. Mira, acá tengo una peli también, de justo ese día, el 3.
It's like I told you before, I drove. I took the car and drove. I don't have my own car, but I have a spare set of keys. I just drove north. I wanted to think for some space between me and them. Everything I told you before is true. I stopped at Glasgow. I was tired, exhausted. I pulled out and I hit a car. My car was okay, but I was worried about the baby, so I went to A&E to get the okay. Everything was fine.
Hannah supuestamente había perdido el bebé de 8 meses, pero ella consideraba que seguía embarazada.
She wasn't answering, and then I decided to drive back. I had decided that she was more important to me than Simon.
Y también se evidencia, he sacado del... Tengo una sala con ticket. Mira, 3 con ticket tengo.
He has a wallet, a huge silly thing, leather, real leather, I think. He packs it full of stuff, business cards, receipts, lottery tickets. Always carries it in his back pocket. I think that's why he's got a bad back. He sets the discs. I haven't seen it, so he must have it on him. He always takes it out of his back pocket before when he comes in, if he's in the house. I remember the ticket, of course. I paid it without telling Simon. Didn't want to get told off. And we got points in the license.
License. License ya he buscado, creo, ¿no?
You must be desperate for leads if you're getting hung up over 6-month-old speeding tickets.
Ya. ¿Qué me faltaría? ¿Ver el he buscado completos? Ay, escrito mal. Ya, ese ya está ya. Después, ¿qué más me faltaría? A ver, de algún día de la semana. Acá tenía Saturday, que me faltaba.
I left the next day, Saturday. I slept for a few hours in the car. And when I woke up, I came straight back. Simon wasn't returning my calls and I wanted to try and make up. I got back to the house and Simon wasn't there. And Is there a pin?
Y yo vomitado, pero ¿por qué?
It was late. Early Saturday morning.
¿Por qué quiso vomitar ahí? Ya. A ver, ¿qué otra palabra que tengo hace rato? Diary. Acá la tenía esta hace rato. A su minuto 24.
Florence was a warm, kind person.
Florence.
But she was broken, I guess. When I found her diary, I also found a biscuit tin with other stuff in it. Older papers, letters, that kind of thing. Her story was in there.
Her story. Esa misma toca buscar.
Spoke to her about it. I was far too young to really understand, I guess.
Esa es la palabra que hago.
Put it together later, once I was older. She had loved children, planned to have a large family, but her husband died in war. And that's about when you married for life. She never felt like she could marry again. Isn't that strange? She was a widow from her 20s. But, I mean, I guess it was different then. You know, married for life and she felt she could never marry again. I guess it was harder, a war widow. One of the dead. I don't know, maybe there was more to it than that. I don't really know.
24 segundos.
When I was 8, Mother died. She slipped down the stairs. It was an accident. I had read a diary at that point and I knew she wasn't my real mother. So I burned the diary that day and I left. walked out and across the street.
Yo le puedo poner taxi también, ¿no?
It just became our way of life. We would swap places and take it in turns to do things. And we were very careful. Whoever had been out that day would come back and write a detailed diary so that we were on the same page. We had a list of rules that said what we could and couldn't do in any given situation. It was exhaustive. We lived a second life through those rules. Rules for
Second
things
life,
that could
story.
only ever happen inside our imaginations. We would consider all the permutations of future events and agree rules to walk our way through them.
A ver, pues saldrá así. Hero Story. Mira, acá hay una. No sé si esa sea la última, pero quizá es la clave de todo.
Her story is that she waited for him to come back. She put on my wig, some of my clothes, pretended to be me. They talked. She'd enjoyed being me. He said he wanted to be with me. Then he took out a present. Another mirror. Just like the one he'd given her earlier. That unique present. She went crazy, smashed the mirror. They argued, screamed. He hit her. So she grabbed a piece of the mirror and just swung it round. She cut his throat clean open. She'd only meant to scare him off.
Ufa. Hay unas cuantas con Job que me quedaba, ¿no?
Yeah, when I was at school. I worked part-time in the front shop. It was sort of an extended family thing. My dad used to work there, my mum worked there before I was born. I took care of paperwork, filing, typing out invoices, that kind of thing. It was a good job for a girl back then. I didn't work a till or anything, though I was quite shy, so I wouldn't have liked to have worked a till. And the Glaziers. I worked there some weekends and someone had a part-time job there too. That was Eric's generosity. He was always good at helping out other people's children. Simon was quiet, more thoughtful than the other boys. Even then, he had a sense of craftsmanship. Wasn't always rushing stuff. Boys that age are just running around like headless chickens most of the time. Yeah. Plus he had that look.
Falta la de Hannah.
He looked like a fairy tale.
Hannah Simon, voy a buscar en Center. No, ahí está ya. Esta vena de... Esta parte de acá fue la... Esto. Esa es la que me descuadra todo, de verdad. No lo he entendido bien eso, ¿no? Ah, gemela, ¿no? A ver si puedo descartar algo. Mira. A ver si doble personalidad o gemelas.
Twins? Really? Are you really asking me that question?
Claro, ¿son gemelas o no? Quiero saber. Quiero saber, dime.
Are you out of your mind?
No, quiero saber.
Twins?
Mira, esa que se asoma ahí.
Florence took me home with her.
Flores, me he olvidado de buscar.
Mother hadn't been expecting twins and had a healthy baby. I guess she was just happy for Florence to clean up. Take away the evidence that this was anything but a happy occasion.
Yo busco Florence, creo, ¿ah?
There were always princes and princesses. They were the special people, more important than the other characters in their stories. We knew we were like that. Twins. Magical.
Ya, casi aceptan las gemelas.
We had a poster of Princess Diana from the newspaper up in our attic. Had a private place. And underneath we used to put all our special things. When her engagement was announced, we were obsessed with everything she did. And later, when her life went so bad, we felt for her. Her divorce last year just kind of drew a line under things.
Tanto de lo que habla esto, a ver, ahí si busco al mismo tiempo ambas. No, pues no sale nada, ¿no? Otra de las que tengo ahí pendientes, ¿ves? Acá hay dos más de Bruce.
Bruce? Oh, yeah, no, there's nothing. I was going through the top cupboard in my kitchen, and the chair slipped, and I kind of hit the door with my face. It hurt like hell.
Bruce, acá.
If one of us got hurt, the other one would have to be hurt too. A grazed knee, a bruise.
Ajá.
When I lost my tooth first, we had to put on harness to match. Once, I slept with a boy who was seeing another girl. The girlfriend came up to Hannah the next day and punched her in the face, gave her a huge black eye. That night, she had to do the same to me. And she always went too far. I couldn't see over that eye for days. She snapped a frozen pizza for me from the kitchen. So much of our bodies was synchronized anyway. We started our period on the same day. Childhood diseases, stomach bugs, nits.
Estaban igual en personalidad entonces, es la cosa. Lo que quiero ver acá es fotos, ¿ves? Fotos sí he buscado, pero quiero ver. No, fotos ya he buscado. Princess, también hablan de Princess Diana, a ver. Acá hay una nueva de Princess.
Let me see. Yes. I drove in here because I remember when I went over the river. And then there was a church there. Yeah. And I probably parked, well, I remember seeing a street sign called Princess Street. There it is. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure it must be this one. There.
No me da mayor información esto aquí, ¿ah? A ver, esta vaina acá. Anticlear. No, yo le quito eso. A ver, otra de. Mira, eso ya ha salido con el más. Mira, ¿ves? Acá tenía una reflexión hace rato y tengo 4 videos estas del 3 del 7. A ver, esto está feo.
Florence raised me in her home.
A Florence,
I
me
never
olvidé
left
buscar.
it. She kept me out of sight. It wasn't odd for people to see a midwife with a baby, carrying in supplies, washing nappies, that sort of thing. I never knew any different. I grew up looking out of my window and seeing her across the road. I thought it was like a reflection in the mirror. She was me.
Ella era ella. Un minuto, un segundo.
Yes. The first time we saw each other, it was strange. We both realised at the same moment, I think. We must have seen each other before, but there was this instant when we first realised it wasn't a reflection. The reflection was staring back. I think I was 5. It was my birthday. My reflection was wearing a party hat and waving. I knew what party hats were from books. And it suddenly occurred to me, today must be my birthday. I waved back and we just spent ages waving at each other and copying each other's movements.
Ahí se copian los movimientos. Ya, eso ha sido también algo. A ver, ¿qué más hay?
Mother wanted me to grow my hair long, but I kept cutting it myself. I wanted to look like my reflection. She always had short hair when she was little. Mother would hide the scissors, but I would find a way. Cut it with a bread knife, something like that. My reflection would always leave her house and go on adventures, but I never could. Mother taught me at home, and I had books and TV. TV was magical, but it was only on when you wanted to be, so I spent a lot of time reading books.
29 segundos.
I wanted to see my reflection. I thought that if I touched her, something would happen.
Ahora me está descuadrando.
We would become one. One girl. The fairy tale was over, the witch was dead, and I'd be restored to my rightful place.
Se oscureció. Ay, ay, ay. A ver, secreto.
I hoover, I dust every week, maybe less. I once asked Eleanor how often I should dust, and she said, if people asked, tell them you do it once a week, but every few weeks is okay. I think she was just trying to make me feel better. I mean, when I was there, she was hoovering every day, and it ran an ordered house. You know how that generation is, putting on a brave front. She has secret stashes of cigarettes. Doug doesn't even know she smokes. When I was there, I saw her. She has these sort of porcelain vases, ornamental, next to the Reader's Digest books. Cigarettes inside. And she still has them. And last time I was there, I looked in a vase. There was a fresh pack. I mean, all those years of marriage. And she still has a secret like that.
Yeah.
When we weren't together, we'd send secret messages by tapping out a code that we learned from a book.
Secret.
The knock code.
Ah, este es no code, ¿sabes?
We tap them out on radiator pipes or the attic floor.
Una se mandaba mensaje a la otra, mira, he visto la segunda parte. ¿Ves? Con la de hace rato, un toque de flores. Hay una nueva con flores.
No, it was just me and her. Eve was the name they were going to call their first child. They talked about it and were going to try when it came back. Florence's family had a history of firstborn girls, so they were convinced it was going to be a girl. It's hard to know if this is all true. These are stories I remember, that I read when I was a child. Maybe I misread, maybe I misunderstood. Sometimes it's hard to remember what happened last week.
coffee? Sí, hay con coffee acá también, ¿no? A ver.
About 8 years back, it was a present to myself. I shouldn't even be drinking coffee with the baby. It's been hard trying to give it up. I think they say you can have one cup.
¿Qué está acá?
No. I've had enough coffee for today, thanks. Glass of water.
Agua. Ya. A ver. Ahora. Ella se mandaba groserías de tanto y tanto. Shit. ¿Ya lo ve? Fuck. ¿Ves? También hay aquí. Veamos.
Yeah. I think I was pedophilia. Thinking it was flu or something. The neighbour called me, I had to use my key to let them in. We found them dead in their bed. And they'd been there for days. No one had noticed. Just awful. It was so soon after my miscarriage. In the worst year of my life. I'd been so happy to get married, and after that I was just like, fuck.
12 segundos.
Yes. I speak with Eleanor at least once a day. Not that there's anything much to say.
Como es uno de 7 segundos, se calla. Ah, después se cambió, pues, ¿no? Claro, se había cambiado ahí.
No, I'm okay.
Ay, se cambió de ropa. 7 segundos. 2 del 7.
Are you arresting me? No. Fuck off. Open this door.
Pero se quedó entonces ahí, ¿no? Entonces si se quedó ahí. Interesante. Bueno. Me queda poco en realidad. Por ejemplo, Kiss. ¿Ves? Ya sabían 2 ahí.
Yes. I thought about telling Hannah. I felt guilty after the kiss. But then it began to feel like this was the way it should be. Sharing. Like we had before. He never mentioned her to me. There was the Simon with me and the Simon with her. It was almost like it was a different Simon. But after the kiss, the next time, he took me back to the house, to our parents' house, to their house. So, it was definitely him. I sometimes think he wanted to get caught to prove to himself that we were different people. He told me about his marriage, told me how his wife was completely different to me. I almost burst out laughing. My mum would please let me back in the house. Let me take a bag of clothes with me, but 1984 wasn't off with me in the end. We were living at Doug and Eleanor's. I lost the baby at the end of spring and my parents died in the summer. It was a hot summer, a heat wave. So when we discovered the bodies, it was just awful. Because of the circumstances, them dying together like that, they brought in a lot of police. The forensic entomologist. I had to look that up. It was because of the heat.
sexo. ¿Se me salió? Mira, sí había varias ahí.
Really? You're going to ask me about my sex life? I mean, isn't that private?
Bueno, en este caso es un poquito, ¿no?
Are you married? How is your sex life? So, our sex life is probably fairly average for a couple after 10 years of marriage. No! You're talking to the wrong person if you think I'm some kind of slut. You think I'm the kind of person that would have sex with all those guys.
Pero la otra sea mi tía. Hay uno nuevo, ¿ves? 3 segundos.
And the hotel said he was there?
Y ella pregunta.
And the hotel said he was there?
Sí, en realidad sí, ¿no? Pero bueno. Creo que ya ha terminado, ya podría hablar con los chit chat, pero a ver. Más, acá hay una, ¿no? Más. 2 segundos esta.
What about us?
Esta no me dice mucho en realidad. A ver. Spatial. Acá hay una con Spatial, ¿ves?
Yes, this is it. He made it himself. It's a special one-off. He made it and decorated it. That's his thing. Where did you find it?
Final. Mira, ¿ves? Había alguna con final ahí.
No, he was a shy, see? I asked a friend to ask him out for me. We had our first date at the Odeon in North End. We went to see Whiskey Business. I had on my one best dress. Simon paid, bought me a whisper, and I was worried about getting chocolate on my teeth.
Ya no está saliendo nada de la gente que se asoma o a la policía, el alarma, ¿no? Y ya terminé ya, ¿no?
Well, she has a knife. She's been cooking. I guess she's been cooking him his favourite meal. She's his wife. He's asleep and she doesn't want to wake him because he's ill. That's why she's sad. Because he's ill. He might die. It's kind of a sad story, so I'm not sure what it is.
¿Se puede chit chat? A ver, vamos a... ¿Ahí se puede? Yo creo que sí, ya lo tengo, ¿ah? ¿Mi madre? La madre, pucha, me bloqueó. Me bloqueó lo de que era mi madre, güey. Qué locura. O sea... Pucha, doble personalidad, pero... Pero no se había perdido la hija, o sea, al final la hija sí vivió. Wow. Wow, qué locura. ¿Se puede ver una más? Arrest. O
Like
sea,
I
al final sí
said,
vivió Sarah.
if I was popping out to get something, ran out of something, had to grab something, I sometimes drive too fast. If you want, you can arrest me for that. This is a nicer room. Is this where you take people when it's time to arrest them? Can you arrest someone who doesn't exist?
Está que no existe. Monta, recibos. Ahí. Ya 9, ¿no? Celda. Hay una, pero ya con esta llave lo veo, creo.
No. Fine. Considering. I got back into the house today, and that was weird, knowing your people had been there through my things. It's like I've been burgled. I mean, worse, obviously. I don't know. I haven't looked in the cell yet. They sent a cleaner in. As good as new, he said. But they had to throw some stuff out.
Asomar en la sala.
Couldn't get the blood out. And I'm still waiting to hear from the coroner so we can get a date set for the funeral. It's going to be a cremation. So,
Okay. Funeral.
yes, it was a cremation for the best. We both wore black and had veils, so it was easy. And after the funeral, everyone came back to the house. Hannah served up sandwiches, and I stayed out of sight.
Kill.
What did your wife do? She didn't kill you. You think I killed Simon because he was having an affair? Well, I didn't kill him. I wasn't even there. I was in Glasgow worrying about whether my baby was still growing inside me. I mean, why would I kill Simon? I loved him.
Y sí le creo, pero
I mean, what if they were crazy? You hear about these crazy people all the time. I mean, why would anyone who knew Simon want to kill him?
¿Esta es la última? A ver.
I can take the stuff off now. Did I prove I'm innocent?
Like. Ya terminé ya. ¿Listo? A ver qué pasó. No, estaba bueno esto, estaba bueno la historia. Pero claro, te fregaron cuando te dices el final y era su madre y era Sarah, la que había estado analizando el caso, que era la hija, pero ¿la hija es detective también o solamente se lo pusieron para que lea? Wow. Interesante, ¿ah? Y de hecho te voy a buscar el nombre de la actriz también. Muy buen trabajo, ¿ah? Claro, y te lo ponen como las dos, la doble personalidad, ¿no? En los créditos. Porque poner así en la imagen no es aleatorio. Hay dos, es la doble personalidad, ¿no? Ok, ¿puedes dejar a la gente el chip, por por si eran gemelas, ¿no? A ver. A ver, vamos a buscar acá algo. Tenemos esto. Caso de doble personalidad era, ¿no? Her Story, ¿no? Admin Random. Continuum, ¿eh? ¿Qué es eso? Aquí tip. Admin Random. Y aquí creo que había un... Ah, mira, ahora ya el query vio a 15. Por ejemplo, entonces, si yo quería ver, por ejemplo, no, por ejemplo, no, ¿dónde está una palabra que tuviera muchos? Mira, mira, acá tenía dos nuevos, me ha salido.
An affair. Sam wasn't having an affair. You're reaching here. I don't know why.
Pero...
No, I've never cheated on you. I've never taken anything from anyone. Simon's dead. But I have my baby to care.
Al final el baby sí nació, pero no cerdo. Y esto ya lo vieron después de muchos años. ¿Y qué pasó con la chica?
Obsessed with sex and affairs. You cheated on your wife. Is this your thing?
Hospital.
Ask the hospital. I don't see how it's hard. We've established I was in Glasgow when he was killed. We've spoken with the hospital.
Quiero ver la otra. Mira, ahora sí ya se puede así, ¿ves?
It lasted about 6 months. I tried to carry on, but everything was different. Hannah insisted I not pretend to be her around Simon, let alone sleep with him. I didn't share him like the others. The rules had changed. Me living in the attic had become weird in a way I hadn't been before.
¿Qué palabras se me pueden decir? ¿Plot?
Okay? I've given black before. Do you need to take that for your records? Nothing like this has ever happened to me before. The blood. It's probably the worst thing that's ever happened to me. She was sat behind him.
Uy,
She had no wiggle. She'd been there all day. And she had blood on her. And she was in shock.
uy. había algo más, ¿no? Crazy, locura. Bueno, eso ya no había más. La mala. Ha.
When she went home, Sam had a birthday tea waiting. Afterwards, she told Simon about me, told him I was pregnant. She wanted me to move in with them, this sister he didn't know she had. She knew that instant. The look on his face. She knew. She sent him out of the house, kicked him out, called me up, crying, and I went round. I guess I had a feeling I could hear something was wrong in her voice, but I wasn't sure what it was. She called my sister on the phone. She never calls me back.
Te he hecho para reírte la cabeza este juego, ¿ah? Recontra hecho para reírte la cabeza.
My sister is gone. And she's never coming back.
Que se quedó, ya no viene ya nunca más. Y bueno, la última. Esta sería la última cronológicamente, ¿no?
I'd like to speak to a lawyer now. Please. You have no murder weapon. You have nothing. And all these stories we've been telling each other. Just that. Stories.
Qué rico jueguito, ¿ah? Qué rico jueguito. Uno se pega queriendo buscar más palabras, pero ya están varias, ¿no? Ya me cayó una.
Then she told me she wanted to help more. She said I should move in with her. She would come clean with Simon about me. I was family, I couldn't have a baby in a bedsit. I told her I didn't want to tell Simon. Told her to wait for the time being.
Ay, ay, ay. Bueno, gran jueguito. Me quedo con más dudas que certezas, pero me he hecho toda una idea, ¿no? Eso básicamente. Creo que el colofón viene por acá, de verdad. Ahí está.
I've never taken a lie detector test before. Does it really work?
Cuando ella dice su nombre y le dice que está equivocada, ahí es. Pero bueno, hablamos gentita. Qué buen jueguito, me gustó mucho. Vamos a cerrar todo esto. Cerramos sesión. Bien, ¿ah? Bien, Horror Story. Me alegra verlo jugado antes que se vaya del Game Pass. Cuídense, gentita. Hablamos. Chau, chau.